I recently saw a speech where uh, President Donald Trump was giving a speech, I should say, for the fallen police officers. And it was a somber moment, and I had the opportunity of watching at least one family who lost a mother, a daughter, sister, if you will, to an ambush in New York City. Um, it's a tragedy when any life is lost. Police officers are no different than any other citizen. They are human beings as well. We are all human beings, regardless of the position that we hold in life, the vocation, the jobs that you choose to sign up for. You can be a cashier, a police officer, a fireman, a lawyer, a judge, a politician, a restaurant worker, or someone who works in a factory. It doesn't matter. We are all still important. Life is very valuable, irrespective of where you find yourself in life. So I said that to say this. As we honor any fallen police officer in the line of duty, we must also remember those that have fallen at the hands of police officers who the president and other politicians and other elected officials have never given a speech for, have never held a vigil for. All of the black men and women that have been killed by rogue police officers over the past 5 to 10 years. We must consider the families of those black individuals because they have never gotten any justice. They have never gotten any recognition outside of that from their own family and loved ones. So my question in hindsight, and my question, which is rhetorical, just for us all to think about it. What makes a police officer dying in the line of duty any more important than a black citizen, especially a black citizen, or any other citizen dying, especially an unarmed citizen, especially a citizen that has done nothing wrong, especially a citizen that was mistakenly holding a cell phone that was thought to be a gun. And the excuses and the list goes on as to all of the frivolous claims as to why these individuals were killed. So, at the end of the day, I'm still saying, there are some people who say Black Lives Matter. I say all lives matter. It shouldn't just be a black thing, but it shouldn't just be a police thing either. When a police officer dies, it's sad. They have family left behind and friends and so forth. They had careers. But when a black American dies, the same is also true. So, let's not be impartial. Let's be impartial. That's what I meant to say. You know what I meant. Just trying to find a way to word it where I can be as sensitive as I possibly can to all of the listeners and not make too many people angry at me telling the truth, because the truth is what it is. The family left behind after Laquan McDonald was murdered, and he was murdered by a police officer in Chicago. Walter Scott in South Carolina shot in the back by a police officer while he was running. Sam Dubose in Cincinnati, Ohio was shot through the window of his vehicle at a traffic stop. Philando Castile, on the passenger side of his vehicle with his girlfriend, was shot through the passenger window by a police officer after he told the police officer that he had a concealed carry. The man had no record. He was shot and killed. Sandra Bland in Texas was pulled over for a traffic stop, would not comply with the police to put her cigarette out while she's in her vehicle, and she committed no crime. And supposedly or allegedly, she hanged herself in a cell at the jail. Eric Garner, standing downtown New York somewhere, minding his own business, harassed by the police. They put him in a chokehold while he's just simply talking to them, and he dies from asphyxiation or suffocation, if you will. Just trying to explain to the police officer what's going on and that he was tired of them harassing him for the same thing every day. And death happened to be the end result. Freddie Gray, this brother, was supposed to be transported to the police department, and he died as a result of him being transported. And he had all types of injuries just from being transported, and it took him longer to get to the police station. Freddie Gray. And Alton Sterling, selling CDs. Yes, he did indeed have a gun on his person. He didn't pull it out. He did not attempt to pull it out. In an open carry state on top of that. Yes, he had a criminal record. It's easy to pull a criminal record after the fact. But during the so-called altercation, he didn't do anything wrong. He was minding his own business. Someone called the police saying that he threatened them. They didn't question him. They became physical upon arriving, tasing him and tackling him to the ground. And one police officer said or shouted out, "Gun." He pulled his weapon out gang style while both of them were piled on top of Alton Sterling and shooting the man to death right there on the ground. And Tamir Rice, 12 years old, in an open carry state in Ohio, Cleveland, outside in a park playing with a play gun. Someone called the police saying that there was an individual with a gun in the park, and they stated that they didn't know if it was real or not. Two police officers come up in a cruiser, pull right in front of the young man. One officer takes it upon himself to step out the car and shoots the young man, the 12-year-old, dead. Now, these are the realities of the day. I could go on. There are many, many more. And I can use Daniel Schaefer as an example also. And he was a white individual begging for his life in a hotel lobby or hallway, crawling on the ground, being given all types of commands by a police officer, threatening to be shot and killed, which ultimately that is what happened. They said they thought that he was reaching for a gun, and the man had baggy shorts on. He was literally crying in the hallway, and he is left to grieve his passing, a wife and two daughters. But we hold special events for police officers who have fallen during or in the line of duty. And we sweep under the carpet all of these citizens, all of these people that have died needlessly by the same hand that is supposed to protect and serve. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again for all of you people that might want to hate on me and the things that I'm saying. And usually it'll probably be from the same system or law enforcement community who don't want to admit that you're wrong. And if you're a police officer that will not tell on another police officer, you're just as criminal as that police officer. So I want to say this. There are good police officers. I've never set up some sort of indictment against police. Never have. I have very good friends that are police officers. And as I said, there are some very good and decent police officers across the nation. but there's a whole lot of bad ones too. And it has come to our awareness over the past decade just how many bad police officers there are. Anytime you don't negotiate, anytime you don't know how to redirect, which is supposedly in your training, anytime you don't know how to de-escalate a situation just by verbally speaking to another person or human being as if they were human, as opposed to pulling your service weapon and killing them, something is wrong.